Welcome back to Southern Oak Stories. In the last video, we followed the story beyond the death certificate of Taft Dunn and into the decision his family made to take him to Century, Florida. But the death certificate gives us something else: names. And those names can tell us just as much of a story, if we know how to read them. Taft's father is listed as Oscar Dunn. Now, when you see a parent listed on a death certificate, that doesn't always mean they were living at the time. So one of the first things I like to do is to check whether that parent was still alive. And in this case, Oscar Dunn had already died. So even though his name appears on the record, he wasn't there. And this can be really helpful when you're looking at the death certificates of older people. It's a really good way to find out who their parents were. His mother is listed as Ruby Taylor, and this is another place where death certificates can be really helpful because they often record a woman's maiden name, not her married name. So if you see a last name that doesn't match, that's not a mistake, that's a clue. Ruby Taylor was Taft's mother and the wife of Oscar Dunn. And then there's the informant, the person who gave the information at the time of death. That name is listed as J.M. Dunn. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of a death certificate because when you see a name there, especially one that matches the family, it's worth asking, who is this person? Are they a parent, a sibling, a neighbor? So I followed that name, and J.M. Dunn turned out to be Johnny Monroe Dunn, Taft's uncle, Oscar's brother. And in the 1920 census, Johnny Monroe Dunn's household is listed just a few homes away from Ruby and her children. This wasn't a distant relative. He was nearby, part of their everyday lives. Looking at the census, we also know that Taft's mother, Ruby, had younger children at home. So it's possible that when Taft became seriously ill, his uncle was the one who made that trip with him to Century. And that might help explain something else on the record. Taft's exact birth date isn't listed, only his age. And it wouldn't be unusual for an uncle not to know that detail. Which means when Taft died, his father was already gone. His mother probably wasn't there. And the man standing there with him was his uncle. The document may give us only a few names, but those names can tell us who was present, who was connected, and who was carrying the weight of that moment. A name on a record isn't just a name. It's a person standing in a moment we would never know about otherwise. And sometimes those names are the beginning of even more stories.